Hey guys, I'm Cordy.
I'm Maymay.
I'm Carson.
I'm Leah. And you're watching In the Know.
Yay!
Woo!
And on this episode, we're going to be talking all things Dune 2, Leave the World Behind, Percy Jackson, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and Simone Biles' husband.
Okay. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Carson, would you like to start us off?
Yes, I would. So, my first topic of the day is the Leave the World Behind movie, which was released on Netflix December 8th, 2023. So, yes, last year. We're in the new year, so we're going back to last year for a minute. And this movie was crazy. A bunch of people think it's like a prediction movie for what's going to happen in the future or like in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically in this movie, you have this family who lives in New York City, and they go for like a little escape in Long Island at this like very, very nice house. And so they get there and they're like, oh, let's go to the beach. So like a normal vacation. Well, while they're on vacation at the beach, an oil tanker or like cargo ship comes straight into the beach. Like it grounds on the beach, does not stop. So this like ginormous ship trying to run all these people over. And people are like so confused because like that never happens. Like that shouldn't happen. Mm-hmm. So then they're escorted out of the beach and they go home. And then all these weird things start happening. Like the Wi-Fi has gone out. The TVs don't work. Like everything digital is done for. And then these people show up to the rental house that these people booked, so like their Airbnb for vacation. And they're like, this is our house. And I think it is actually their house. But they're like, this is our house, and we were in the city, and we needed to come here. And they're like, this is weird. Why did you need to come here? So then they start saying all this stuff, and it's like, we don't really know what's going on. But on the flip side, there's this girl, the daughter of the family who went on vacation, and she like notices stuff before other people do. So she like notices all these deer and stuff, and these deer are doing like weird things and blah, blah, blah this and blah, blah, blah that. So they all decide to stay in the house together, even though there was some tension at the beginning when those people first arrived. But they all stay in the house together, and then the next morning they wake up, and Julia Roberts, which plays the mom in this movie, she thinks she sees, or she does have like news notifications on her phone the next morning. And so she wakes up and she tells her husband, Clay, which is played by Ethan Hawke, and she like, look at these notifications, and she shows it to him, and they're gone. And she's like, well, this was the hackers were behind something, and blah, blah, blah this and blah, blah, blah that. So they think it's hackers. They think hackers have hacked into the phone network and the cyber network and have completely like demolished everything. And I think it's true, because what they didn't know while they were asleep is that the TV came back on and it showed the news, and it was like cyber attacks everywhere in the country. Like everywhere was red, and it was just so odd. But then they wake up and they still don't have anything. So they're like going crazy because of how reliant we are on technology now. Mm. And so it's so weird to not have anything. From being used to having it every single day and using it to excel our lives, I guess, like move our lives forward. And so they have to like do stuff on their own. So they're at this really nice house. So they go swimming, they blah, blah, blah this. But the girl and her brother go out in the woods, and they like are looking, and they go in this little hut, which becomes more important later down the movie. And they're just looking, but he gets bit by a tick. So he gets Lyme disease.
And
that's then
crazy.
The next day, the mom like goes looking for them because she can't find her children. And
this is crazy, bro.
And this loud noise, like deafening noise, comes over the earth or over the United States. And it's just crazy because like they have to like cover their ears and they all fall to the ground, and it's so weird. But this was after they arrived to the beach house the day before, when everything was working until they got to the beach house. And now they're like, what in the heck is happening? So the two people that said that the house was theirs that arrived at the Airbnb is a father and daughter duo. And apparently he works with like high up people, like clients, like high up, like people in the military and like, I don't know, rich people who know what's going on. And so he tries to start telling her all this stuff. And this is after that. And this is after she saw at the grocery store when they first arrived at the house, this man like stocking up on like shelter goods, like non-perishable foods, bunch of water cases, like a lot of stuff. But he starts telling her all this stuff that is sort of going on. And then they hear that sound again. So it's like deafening again. And they don't know what's going on. And they freak out and blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. But he's told Julia Roberts all this stuff. And he's basically been like, yeah, my clients, this and that. And he doesn't really tell her any more than that. But she knows someone is behind this. So, if like the day before, Clay, when all this sound and stuff started happening, the husband, he went and like drove around to see if he could find signal because the Wi-Fi and everything was out. And this plane comes up behind him and is dropping all these flyers, and apparently they mean death to America.
Oh.
But on the other side, the man who arrived at the house with his daughter, his wife is on a plane, and he goes to one of his neighbors' houses, and they live on a beach.
Yeah.
And the neighbors' houses, planes just keep crashing into the beach.
What the heck?
Because all the navigation systems are going out. Like everyone's dying. So
what the heck?
That is wild.
So back that night after they had heard the sound again, they go to bed, and then they wake up the next morning and they're like, we have to leave. Or not, they're like, they have to leave after that. Somewhat. But so they leave and they see all these self-driving cars, so Teslas. All these Teslas, brand new, have driven themselves off the lots.
I've seen this.
Yeah, you probably have seen this clip. Have driven themselves off the lots and are like slamming into each other on the interstate. And so they can't leave. They're like landlocked. So they can't get back to New York City, which New York City would not be the safest place to be during this.
No.
It's good that they weren't there. But, and then then they like try to leave and they have to dodge these Teslas that are like coming towards them.
Are like people driving the Teslas, or is it just they're self-driving? Like no one's in the
They're
car?
self-driving.
Oh,
These
that's
are the fully
freaky.
autonomous Teslas. And so these Teslas are like slamming into each other at like 100 miles an hour, like so fast.
That's so scary.
And so they have to go back to the house, even though they don't want to go back to the house. And then as they're driving back to the house after they've passed, they're like dodging all the Teslas, like Subway Surfer style. It shows like aerial view, and the whole interstate is completely full into the city of like cars that are just sitting there. Probably Teslas, but yeah. So they're back at the house, and they start talking or whatever. That was actually, the Tesla thing was actually a little before before the mother and the guy who arrived at his house started talking about his clients and everything. So now they go to sleep, and they wake up the next morning because their son has not been feeling well. We're almost
He has Lyme disease.
He has Lyme disease. And he also didn't cover his ears fast enough when that sound happened. And they wake up, and his teeth, like, are falling out. It's so gross.
No.
I don't do that.
No, that's my worst fear.
It's like they have his roots have rotted out, so he can just
Oh
go
my
and,
gosh.
rip out his teeth. It's so
No.
gross. But then they Clay, the husband, has to go get him medicine. So the guy who arrived at his house and Ethan Hawke go to the superstitious guy, the guy that I told you about at the grocery store with Julia Roberts saw him getting all the water and non-perishable foods and stuff. They go to his house, and his house is no trespassing, private property, and they knock on the door. But while this is happening, the mother and the daughter of the guy who arrived at the house, I don't know their names, but of the daughter who arrived at the house, go on a hunt looking for Julia Roberts' daughter because she ran away because she wanted to go watch Friends.
Oh.
Because she wanted to watch the season finale of Friends.
She's so real, though. She's so real.
And they don't like each other. This other man's daughter and Julia Roberts, they don't like each other as of right now. And this is all happening while the guy is pulling out his teeth. The girl's missing. It's crazy. And so they go on a hunt for her, and then they get in this hut, and there's all of these deer. There has to be hundreds and hundreds of deer surrounding them in this hunt. So Julia Roberts, leaves before this happens, but the daughter is still in there, and she walks out, and these deer just come all straight up to her. They literally look like they want to eat her. It's kind of scary.
Oh, that's
And so she just stands there in still shock.
No, that's freaky.
Julia Roberts still wants to find her daughter, but she can't. So Julia Roberts sees an aerial view of what New York City looks like from Long Island, and it's New York City has completely been destroyed. It's on fire. There are people dropping bombs.
Wait, how did she get an aerial view?
So they must be really close to a coast or something, because she's able to or not aerial view, she's really close to a coast or something. So through the woods, she's supposedly able to see New York.
Okay. Because I was she can't fly, guys. She'll die.
Yeah,
She can't fly.
So not an aerial view, but like a coastal view.
Yeah.
Sort of. She is apparently able to see the explosions and the smoke and everything. I'm pretty sure.
That is so scary.
But she goes and saves that man's daughter because we don't want people dying.
Right.
And so they say she gets all the deer away and blah 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 this, and they go hunting for the girl again. And then they make up, and they're my dad was supposed to be. The dad told the daughter that he would be back in 1 hour, and it's been way more than 1 hour because back on the flip side, the Ethan Hawke is having trouble with this man who they went to go get the medicine because he is I don't want to help you. Why should I help you if you're just gonna blah 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 this and blah 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 that to me? And and that's the guy from Footloose. What's his name? Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon is in this?
Yeah.
That is so funny.
This cast is crazy.
And so he walks out on his porch with a gun and is no, I'm not giving you medicine. Get off my property.
Oh.
But they finally give them the medicine after having a little gunfight, drawing guns, a little duel for a minute, which is kind of scary, but they end up being fine. But and while all of this is happening, the little girl has found these really rich people's houses and has gone to the bunker. So have you seen all these things about the billionaires building bunkers recently?
Yes.
No, I haven't. What?
Oh. There's a bunch of billionaires, who is it? Mark Zuckerberg and all these people.
They're so strange.
Who are building these super nice bunkers underneath their
end of
house.
the world level bunkers.
Yes. Yeah. And so she finds one of those basically, and she goes and watches her friends while the whole world is falling apart. Or at least while New York City is falling apart. And so she watches her friends. But basically what happened is that people wanted America to not be a thing anymore. So they wanted to get rid of demolish America.
Okay,
And
well,
so
wait. Then where would they go if America was demolished? Canada?
no, everyone's supposed to die. That's how it's supposed to be.
Oh.
So I'm pretty sure. So they want to demolish America, and they did it in like a 3-step plan. The first step was like get rid of everything that they like, all their trust. So like get rid of the technology, get rid of all of their media sources, get rid of everything. So hack them and get rid of all signal. And then it was like get rid of their trust. And the third step would do it on its own, which is this is what this military client told the guy, which he then told Julia Roberts. And he's like, the third step would do it on its own. And the third step is that people would turn on each other, like how Kevin Bacon did to Ethan Hawke. And it's his name is Marshelly R. Lee or something. I can't pronounce it. Yeah, his name is George. So the guy who arrived at the house with his daughter. So when they pull out the gun on George and Ethan Hawke, and so the third step is like everyone will turn on each other and people will start killing each other because people will be scared and blah 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 this, and it's like when the paranoia sets in, like a civil war will start happening.
That is so scary.
So everyone, I think, dies except for the daughter who found the bunker and went and watched Friends.
Oh,
that's crazy.
But it kind of leaves you on an open-ended ending. It doesn't
what
really
is he
tell
supposed to do?
I don't know. And the bunker is the only place that has Wi-Fi. Like, it has a working computer and everything.
What?
So if she would have gotten her parents and these other people and been like, come get to this bunker,
yeah, everyone.
They probably would have been fine.
Oh my goodness!
How? Okay. That is so freaky.
I know. You need to watch it. I thought it was good. It's not like my favorite movie. It's not Dune, but it's not my favorite movie ever. But it was really good. I wanted to watch it since the first trailer came out. My mom ended up watching it, and she is obsessed with it. I don't know. She thinks this stuff is actually going to happen. Which, hey, maybe it will. I don't know.
Don't speak that into existence.
I'm not trying to get Lyme disease, guys.
Yeah, I know that. I went and played disc golf yesterday, and we played it in the woods. And I was like, am I going to get bit by a tick like the guy did in the movie? I was wearing long pants and everything, but I was still nervous about Lyme disease.
That's so real.
So, later down the road, everyone, you will hear more about something new that we have never done on In the Know. So, I'm going to let them explain it, but I'm going to go ahead and do my topic. So, my most anticipated pop culture moment of the year is Dune Part 2, which I know we've heard about. Dune is my Roman Empire. We've talked about that before, too. But, so Dune Part 2 Dune is my favorite movie ever. I don't know why it's my favorite movie, but it is. And Dune Part 2 is my favorite pop culture moment of the year because it has been delayed and I can't wait for it anymore. I'm just itching for it. And why is my favorite pop culture moment of the year, or my pop culture most anticipated, is because I'm so ready for Zendaya and Timothée Chalamet's press interviews and the red carpet moments, and then the box office success that this movie is going to be. I hope it makes $1 billion. I really do. It might. You never know. The first one made $402 million.
That's crazy.
In COVID times. That was COVID. It was 2021, close to COVID times. And now that we're sort of out of COVID a little bit, I think this movie can make at least double that.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited. I know sort of what the plot is going to be because I've read the first book, but I want to see how they're going to change it. This movie has a $122 million budget, supposedly, which is less than the first one. The first one had $165 million. But I want it to do really well. I'm so excited. March 1st, 2024. Also, the Percy Jackson series came out.
Yes! Yes!
I love Percy Jackson.
Me too.
I read the books when I was in 8th grade. And they They were really good. Like, I didn't think they were going to be that good, but I read it because the show was coming out. So it's 8th grade, and I'm in 11th grade now. So that's 3 years since I've read those books, and the show is just now coming out. It's crazy how long it takes, but I love the show so far. The one thing that I don't understand, though, is that if you've watched the show, there's these, like, they go, like, let's say they go to the Garden Gnome Imperium. And so they, from the bus, and they, like, get attacked by these monsters. They have to run to the Garden Gnome Emporium. It doesn't show them, like, running. It just cuts to a black screen, and then it goes to it, which is not my favorite thing.
Yeah, that's, like, a lot of what that series does. It just, like, cuts to a black screen, and I keep thinking that, like, the episodes are going to end.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, is this everything?
And, like, is it over? And I just don't know. I don't like that. Like, I don't know if that was, like, I guess it was, like, a director's choice. But I was like, I don't know if I liked that part about it.
I don't like it.
But the rest of it is really good.
It is really good. Yeah, I don't like the black screen. It's like they intend for it to have commercials.
Right.
So I'm like, Disney, like, they should have done, like, separate cuts for Disney Plus without ads and Disney Plus with ads.
Right.
So it was weird because we don't have ads, and I just see this black screen for 5 seconds. I don't like it.
I don't know if they would have, like, done another movie if they would have done the black screen cuts, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
but I don't know if it's because, like, it's like they're trying to fit all this, like, detail into, like, 30 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I wish the episodes were longer.
I know, because, like, I was putting my Legos together while watching the newest one that came out.
Yeah.
And I thought that I had been doing Legos for, like, such a longer time than the episode was. You know what I mean? I was like, that episode ended so fast. I was like, what the heck? I was like, I only put, like, 3 pieces down. Good Lord.
But those are my topics for this week. I'll let Leah take over Percy Jackson more later in the episode. And yes, thank you so much.
Okay, guys. Again, hopping off of Percy Jackson. The book series, I think, came out in, like, 2005. Yeah. Like, the original Lightning Thief book came out in 2005. And then, which, like, are really good. It started with The Lightning Thief. Guys, fun fact, I've never actually read the book. So don't kill me, guys.
I haven't watched the show either because I'm trying to read the book, but I've been trying to read the book for 3 years. So it's sitting next to my bed right now.
Right.
And I want to read it before I watch.
But I know a lot about it despite reading the books because my mom is a librarian and she was like, Leah, you need to get into this because the main character has your same mental ailments, so you should get into this. And I was like, okay. So yeah, ADHD and dyslexia, yes, represent. Anyways, but so they came out because I got into the movie that came out in 2010. So the movie that came out in 2010,
with the iPod.
Yes, starred Logan Letterman, and that man, that man's fine. And then it has Brandon T. Jackson as Grover, and then Alexandra. Is that Alexandra? Daduro. Anyways, that's who plays Annabeth. And then Logan Lerman, and he's Percy Jackson. This movie is kind of not that great, but I like it. This movie, like, the movie that they came out with is, like, it's low-key book accurate, but, like, low-key not. That's the thing. This movie's, like, cuts out a bunch of detail, which kind of sucks. That's why I'm, like, really glad they're doing this TV show right now, because they're able to, like, add so much more detail spanning over a bunch of different episodes. But in the movie, it's, like, he's not 12. He's, like, 17.
That's what, like, that's what upset me personally.
Yes, because I was like, come on, guys. Like, you couldn't have, like, that's, like, a canon thing that he's young and you just, anyways. Anywho. And so, going into the TV show, I kind of knew what to expect because of what I've seen in the movie. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed this movie. And the thing is, I don't think that these movies, like, did very well. On Rotten Tomato, it says it was a 49 rating, which, you know, kind of, yeah. And then they made another one of these movies. They made the second book into a movie, and then I think they stopped after that because I don't think they were doing very well.
Yeah.
And the actors were probably looking a little too old. Because they decided to start this at 17. So boo, 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 boo. And I'm pretty sure you can watch this movie on Disney Plus too. So yeah. Anyways, the director was Chris Columbus of this movie, if anybody knows who that is. Well, at the box office it said it did $26.4 million.
Oh.
So maybe it did do pretty well at the box office, but I just don't think it was received well. That's probably what it was.
I think a lot of people probably went to go see it and then were like upset because it wasn't book accurate.
Yeah. I would have to agree. So even like watching the new series, like with the new characters and them being so little, I was like not expecting it because like I knew this like show had been out on Disney Plus, but I hadn't like sat down and watched it until like last weekend actually. But I would say I don't regret my decision because it's so good. Like, I just appreciate how much, like, it follows the timeline so well. You know what I mean? Because I was sitting with somebody who had watched or read the books as I watched it, so they were able to, like, fill me in with little details that happened that maybe they didn't talk about that were in the book. And I was like, this is so, I love this. And it's so nice because, like, Percy Jackson's all about, like, Greek mythology and stuff, so it's kind of, like, giving Harry Potter in a way because they talk about this like veil that like only like the Greek god kids can like see into like the veil of like magic and like and it's like it's just so cool. And like Percy's like he's like the chosen one, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like kind of giving Harry Potter, and I think that's why I love it so much because it's so like whimsical and like cool. I don't know, but yeah, Percy is the son of Poseidon and he's like the only one, like he's Poseidon's only son, so he's like a demigod, but he's also like chosen because you know
he's like
and
powerful.
Yeah, so he's like juiced up. He's got like a bunch going on in that little 12-year-old body, and like he doesn't figure out that he's a demigod until like things start really going downhill because nobody will tell him what's going on, and his mom has been like holding back for like because he lives with his mom and his stepdad in an apartment in I think like New York City, right?
I think so.
And so yeah. And then, like, his mom will take him out to this house they have on, like, the coast and, like, explain to him, hey, dude, your dad is Poseidon. And his mom has been telling him stories, like, his entire childhood about, like, Greek mythology and taking him to museums and stuff and, like, telling him all these stories about monsters. And so he's like, all the stories you were telling me, they're real? And he, like, freaks out. And it's, like, it's just so good. But, yeah, it's action packed and there's never like a dull moment until they go to that freaking black screen. Anyways, and then at the end of each episode they do like a teaser for the next episode.
Oh, that's
that's also kind of cool. They're pulling like a Marvel Studios type deal, but I love it. And then another thing that was like really anticipated about that show was that Lin-Manuel Miranda is supposedly like has a starring like acting. Well, it's not supposedly, like he does. He has a starring acting role as Hermes.
Oh.
So yeah. So go Lin. I just was like, I'm like kind of skeptical because a lot of what he's done has been like voice acting or like
very like over the top,
right? Because it's theater, you know what I mean?
And
like
it's very animated, yeah.
Right. And so I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know how he's gonna perform in like a role because I'm pretty sure like the goal with this show is to do every different book is a season. And I think they plan on doing it like Harry Potter, where these kids will renew their role like every year, so we'll watch them grow from being little to being like big. And so I watched some interviews or whatever, and like an interviewer was like, I'm gonna save all these questions that I asked you for later down the line when y'all are done with the series, and we'll come back and like look at the video. It's like a Billie Eilish type thing where she went and like, you know, but I think it's kind of crazy that they're gonna be in those roles for a while. I don't know why, because that was what was going on during Harry Potter, but I guess I wasn't like alive when that stuff, like when I was alive when that stuff was coming out, but I was like young.
But like Harry Potter is like just a movie, and this is like a series,
right? And so I'm like, that's a lot. Like, I just don't think ever, like, has that been like a thing where like I guess it's like Grey's Anatomy. It's like, you know what I mean? Where they drag it out for so long and they keep renewing roles. But
yeah,
I guess like it probably hasn't been seen with like little kids as the main stars. You know what I mean? Like in a series form like that. But I'm very excited for the rest. Every episode comes out on Tuesdays at 3 a.m, actually.
Oh, how many episodes are there?
So that's crazy.
Or is there how many, like, do you know how many it's going to be per season? I
don't know, actually. I think like 6 maybe or 8. Because that's usually what Disney Plus will do. They'll at least release 6 episodes, but I feel like that's not enough, so maybe not. It might be like 10.
Oh.
They might do like 10 because like they're really big on short series now. You know what I mean? Like having an episode, like having a series be like, or like a season be like 10 episodes instead of 22. But bring that back though, because I get into that. Like Vampire Diaries, every episode is like 46 minutes and there's 22 episodes.
I know.
I dig that.
I've been watching Gilmore Girls.
Get into that.
It's so long and I love it because you actually get to like.
There's content.
Exactly. You get into actual stuff and you're able to resolve everything in a season.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure like the season is called like Percy Jackson the Lightning Thief, like in the Olympians, which is like really cool. I was like, eat. But it's also like weird seeing like the characters that you think from the movie like recasted as younger people and like.
Sorry, I was like took a hair salon on my iPad.
Bro. I love Tokaboka.
It's just so
yeah. And in the same vein of Carson talking about Timothée Chalamet, I don't think we've talked about Wonka yet because that movie came out.
I'm here to talk about Wonka.
Yeah, that movie came out December 15th, and so I think that was like the end of the start of our winter break. So I don't know if we talked about Wonka yet, but
guys, I have an emergency.
What?
I opened Tokaboka on my iPad. And it's frozen on a white screen and I can't get it to turn off.
Oh, I think you got hacked. Maybe you're gonna turn the world into leave the world behind.
How did my iPad freeze? I opened Tokaboka and it's a white screen and I can't change it.
Bro.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, Wonka
8. I love that movie.
Good. Like, I loved it. And, like, I talked to people who didn't like it, and they were like, oh, I didn't like it that much, or whatever. No, look.
Yeah.
I don't like the normal Willy Wonka movies. Like, I don't like them.
I love those movies.
Really?
I love Willy Wonka. I'm a Willy Wonka stan.
I watched them when I was younger and stuff, and they were really scary. But, like, I liked parts of them, but overall they're really scary, and I didn't like how like those actors did Wonka. And I think the way that Timothy like portrayed Wonka was so much more like lively, and it was so fun to watch. He was so kind and caring, and he had a reason why he was doing what he was doing.
Right.
And I really loved the movie, and I thought it was
so
really
good.
Like, I think it was really nice to see, like, the origin of Willy Wonka. And
like, it's definitely not a movie that we needed, but it ate. I'm really glad they did it because I would have thought that like this would be a movie that they would make. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, this
and
wouldn't cross my mind, but I'm so glad they did.
yeah, and it's based off the musical, I'm pretty sure.
There's a musical?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
the movie is a musical.
Yeah, the movie's a musical, and based off of the musical that was on Broadway, which did horribly. Like, it got taken off of Broadway really quick. It did not do well. But I don't know, the way Timothy portrayed Wonka was so amazing. And, like, I don't know, he looked really good in it. He looked really cute. And I don't know, I love it so much. I want to see it.
Serving camp that entire movie. That movie
was so
camp. And I ate it up.
Oh, wow. It did camp so well. Like, it was just so yummy and good, and I love it.
And I was like, eat. But my sister, she's one of those people that, like, watches movies, but she picks them apart. Like, she, like, she's very, like, literal about her movies. She can't just, like, sit and watch a movie mindlessly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so she, like, went to go see this movie, and she was talking about how she was like, but there was, like, no backstory, though. Like, how did he become, like, evil? And, like, why did he want to, like, kill kids, basically? Like, what happened there? Like, why did he start kidnapping kids at his chocolate factory? Like, she was like, how did he end up there? Like, there was no
that's
explanation.
Why I don't like normal Willy Wonka. I think the first Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka, I guess.
In the chocolate factory.
Yeah, but I think the first one that was made, Wonka was friendlier.
I agree. The Johnny Depp Willy Wonka is definitely more freaky.
Yeah, and I think that since the Johnny Depp one is the one we grew up on, I think, like, with that comparison of, like, our Wonka that we just saw that just came out, Johnny Depp's Wonka, I think it doesn't match up, but I think, who played the first Wonka?
Gene Wilder.
Yes, the Gene Wilder one, it matches.
Yes.
That's what I...
Yeah, people were saying that Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory of Gene Wilder, like, that's who little Timmy Tim, is going to grow up to be. Like, they were saying that it was a prequel to the Gene Wilder movies. And I watched a YouTube video on, like, little Easter eggs of, like, how the movies connect or whatever. And there was, like, a lot of, like, subtle nods to, like, Gene Wilder's iconic role as Willy Wonka. And I was like, eat. And then...
Because I like that one a lot more than the Johnny Depp one.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
Wonka at all.
I have to agree, but I do really like, I like the Willy Wonka, like, Johnny Depp one. I don't know if it's because I like, sometimes I do, like, weird things like that, just because, like, I think it's intriguing. But when I was younger, like, I did not like those, I was, like, kind of, like, skeptical of those movies, because usually, like, they would come on during, like, Halloween, you know what I mean? And, like, when you get a bunch of candy, and I'm telling you, Willy Wonka, Johnny Depp's version, like, and his dad is a dentist, and he has all that headgear on little baby Johnny Depp Willy Wonka. It freaks me out, because I'm like, there ain't no way. Like, when I heard headgear at the orthodontist office, I thought that's what they meant by headgear, was that crazy contraption that was put on little Willy Wonka. Like, scarred. But other than that, I love Willy Wonka. And I like the Oompa Loompas. Oompa Loompas eat, and when they came in, like, when I noticed that, like, they were, like, showing up in the Willy Wonka, or the Wonka movie, I, like, freaked out. I was like, oh my god.
I was so glad we got the backstory, too.
Me, too.
Because you would never, like, you're like, why are they there?
Oh my god. And Mr. freaking Bean was in the Wonka movie. Oh my god. I was like, that's Mr. Bean! And, like, my movie theater, like, gasped. They were like, and I was like, yeah. That's a normal reaction to seeing Mr. Bean. I love Mr. Bean. But yeah, Hugh Grant played the Oompa Loompas.
It was amazing. And then I watched another Hugh Grant movie right after that. I watched Love Actually, like, with my mom when I got home.
Sorry, I love Love
And
Actually.
I could only see him as an Oompa Loompa. Like, every time he came on the screen, I was like, that's an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. And, like, another thing my sister was, like, kind of iffy about this movie, which I thought was, like, kind of weird too, but, like, I'm not sure, like, the estimated age range as to what Wonka, like, how old he is in this, like, prequel.
Yeah.
Probably, like, late 20s, maybe? I don't really know, like mid-20s.
Oh.
I don't know, but my sister was like, I don't know how I feel about his relationship with Noodle, which is like this little girl that like helps
His
him
little
escape.
sister.
I think it's like innocent and precious, but my sister was like, oh, are they about to kiss right now? Like, she was getting, I was like, no, you can't do
So
you can't say
innocent.
that. You
It
can't
was
say that. It was so innocent. Wonka was just feeding into his childlike energy and just ended up finding a friend in Noodle. Guys, it's not that weird. Guys, it's not that weird. It's okay. It's okay. Like, guys. And then Keegan-Michael Key is also in this movie, so eat. But I haven't heard of like a lot of these other, like, that's kind of what I liked about this movie. They're kind of like pulling a Hunger Games, where like the Hunger Games movies, they casted a bunch of like, I don't want to say nobodies, but like casted a bunch of upcoming actors that like people hadn't seen before, and that's kind of how I felt about this Wonka movie, except for like the main staples that I just stated. But like the actress that played Noodle, I was like, I haven't seen this girl in anything else, you know what I mean? So it's like, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I like the mix.
It's like, I like the mix of like up and coming and then already established. I was like, this is kind of fun, especially with the younger. And that's kind of how the same with Percy Jackson. I was like, I haven't seen a lot of these actresses before, so I was like, this is kind of cool. But maybe it's just because I don't watch a lot of things with them in it. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just refreshing to see new faces. But yeah, Wonka Slay. Like, it was
I love
so, and the music is so catchy. Like, I saw this movie with Gabby, and we were freaking out. We were like, this is what goes on in our brains every single day. Because it's just like such a colorful, fun movie. But yeah, go see that if you haven't. Are we gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and say my anticipated thing.
Yeah, you're
okay.
Right.
Yeah, my anticipated event. It's more like Jesus Christ, I can't say it. Anticipated trend.
Okay.
Or whatever, because I'm with the people who agree that 2014 is making a comeback in 2024. I am here for that. I want that back. Give me that same energy from 2014.
I want 2014 Tumblr back.
Yeah, I need it back. I need it back right now. I need my sparkly iPod.
Yup.
Like, and Katy Perry blasting on it. Like, that's the energy I need right now. That's the energy I need.
I think, like, I agree with you. I think 2014 and 2016, like,
yes.
the energy of the
yes.
are definitely,
yes.
I already feel it in this year. Like, 2024 is definitely a 2016 year. Maybe
yes.
because it's an election year, but, like,
yeah.
2016 was the craziest time to be on the internet.
And I love it.
I love it. The craziest time to be on the internet. And I'm so, so excited to see what, like, this year brings.
Yeah, me too.
And I also feel like 2016 was, like, a very, like, transformative year. I feel like a lot of things happened. Yeah.
was.
A lot of things happened, good and bad, and a lot of, like, new things were developed. And I think that's definitely going to happen this year. Like, it definitely feels like kind of like a resurge and a lot of new things this year. And I'm very excited.
Yes, because, like, I even want, like, cable TV to come back from those times, because that's what I did a lot of the time, was, like, I watched cable TV and it'd be, like, Nickelodeon, and I want, guys, you don't know how passionate I am about this. I want a new and revamped Teen Choice Award. I've, like, seen the ones that have come out, like, in recent years, and I'm like, this just does not hit the same as it did back in 2014, like, 26, like, this does not hit the same. I don't know if it's because, like, One Direction was kind of, I mean, like, when they were on Teen Nick, like, that, or, like, on Kids' Choice Awards, and, like, didn't their band break up in, like, 2015?
Yeah.
They
all went
sure
different directions, guys.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that, R.I.P.
As they called it.
So, yeah, like, in 2014, like, they were still hyping up One Direction, and I'm like, I need that energy back. Like, I need, like, another pop group to come through that's gonna get me that obsessed. Like,
Look, pop is at a resurgence this year.
Yes!
Pop is coming back. And I'm
Yes.
so excited.
Yes. Like, bring back the 2016 trends for music because that hit, and it still hits. Still hits. Like,
I can't. I'm so excited because pop
Me
music is
too.
definitely coming back. Like with Renee Rapp and Sabrina Carpenter,
yes.
literally like bulldozing into
Yes.
the pop scene. I'm so excited because
Mm-hmm.
there's something new, and I feel like a lot of the things we've seen in pop is the same thing
Yep.
over and over, and it's been like this since 2016.
And I kind of, guys, I low-key blame Ariana Grande for this. For that. Like, it's sounding the same because she's been, like, the pop icon for forever. Same with Taylor Swift, but, like, I just feel like Ariana Grande's been, like, the blueprint for pop for a while. And I just need that to fade out, please. Not that I don't like Ariana Grande, like, I love her, but still, come on. That's why I'm so happy for, like, Sabrina taking on the crown and, like, Renee Rapp. Like, this is gonna eat.
Yes, I'm so excited. Because pop music is just not the same. Like, I literally don't listen to pop music ever. And then, like, Sabrina, I mean, I don't know how I feel about Sabrina Carpenter. I have my qualms with her, but I still like her music a lot, and I also really like Renee Rapp's music. I feel like they're really trailblazing this new pop scene, and it's really needed because even with Olivia Rodrigo's new album, it's something we've heard before. Both are something we've heard before. Sour was a little different, but not too different. But Guts was completely something we've heard before. And like, that's what she was going for. Like, she likes pop punk.
Yeah.
But it wasn't anything new. And I need something new.
Right. Period. I agree. Because, like, I'm tired of listening to the same 4 songs in my playlist all the time that all sound the same. You know what I mean? Like, I can't keep doing it. I need the 2016 resurgence. Because I already made a playlist on my Spotify. I was like, songs I'm bringing back in 2024. And a bunch of it is, like, party, like, pop, like, hits from, like, that era. Like, 2014 to, like, 2016. And I'm, like, so here for it. Like, I wish, like, I just need some of those artists that were popular then to, like, come back. But keep the same energy. You know what I mean? Like, keep the same energy. Because, like, Katy Perry has been through her phases. But Katy Perry was hot during that time. And I am a Katy Perry stan. And so I really, like, I don't know what she's up to. Oh, she's on American Idol right now, right?
I think she's I think, I've been
it's just they're all getting older.
Aww.
I'm like, come on, Katy Perry, just stay in your era, please.
I've been obsessed with Rihanna recently.
Oh, yeah.
Breaking dishes.
Oh, I love Rihanna.
Okay, so I'm doing this thing for church called Fiat, and we have to give up, like, secular music. But we're allowed to listen to music that, like, uplifts your soul, right? You know what uplifts my soul? Rihanna. So I'm putting Rihanna on my playlist because I love Rihanna.
Rihanna eats.
Song is my favorite song is 457 by Rihanna, Barney, and Kanye. Yes, I don't like Kanye. I never have liked Kanye, but 4 or 5 Seconds is the best song to ever be made. And it's the oddest group of people coming together to make the hit banger that is 5 Seconds.
The hit banger. Yeah, I love it. And I'm just, and like Disturbia, I need that song to resurface. Because that song gets me going. Like, that song is so good. And, like, I feel like I was really, like, into that song, like, in 2014, 2016. So it just, like, takes me back. I'm like, I know I was, like, how old would I have been in, like, 2014? I would have been, like, not even 10. I was 9.
Okay, yeah.
I was 9. So, like, that wasn't that long ago, but still, I'm like, guys, I just need it back.
Yeah, like,
it was 10 years ago.
So good. It was?
Okay, well, that was a long time ago then. That's a decade.
Yeah.
I need that back.
I'm literally looking at, like, a playlist of 2016 songs. I'm like, these songs are so good.
Like, Am I Wrong? That song eats. I don't know if that came out in 2016, but, like, that song eats.
That song's so good. And then, And then One Dance by Drake. You remember how
Guys, don't even get me started on Drake in 2016. That is my favorite thing ever. He ate. That album ate so hard.
it really did.
I love Drake. Oh my god.
And, Meghan Trainor.
Mm-hmm.
And
Guys, have you seen the Meghan Trainor like stuff about her like low-key being like a bad person?
Oh
No.
Or like just like annoying. Like people don't think she's a bad person, they're like, but she's just like so annoying. And she's like has no like social cues because she went on like the podcast with Tana Mojo and she was like completely just like acting like she was 10 years old on that podcast. And we're like, girl, you're a grown woman. Like, what are you doing? You're embarrassing yourself. But anyways, moving on.
2016 music was where it's at.
Yep.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah, that's about sums it up. I really am anticipating the resurgence of 2014, 2016. I'm really hoping that makes a comeback. Even like the fashion trends, I would be okay with.
The mustache trend?
As long as
Yes.
please don't bring back Chevron.
Oh yeah, don't do that though. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Or
Chevron can die.
I don't look good in scarves, so don't bring back infinity scarves.
Ooh.
You know what I am bringing back?
Ooh, infinity scarves. Ooh.
I'm bringing back monograms. Full
Yeah.
I used to wear monograms every day. Like I had sweatshirts, t-shirts. Everything was monogrammed. I'm bringing that back.
Monograms eat. Yep. Like catch me on the 5th grade playground with my infinity scarf on, because that was me.
And then I had monogrammed like vinyl toenail stickers.
Yes.
I monogram on there.
Yes. Guys, I have like a headband that has my monogram on it, and I use it every night to do my skincare.
Yes.
My hair back. I'm in with the monogram.
I love monograms.
Oh.
A monogram pillow for my dorm.
Yes. Yes, I have monogram pillows. Yes. I don't know if that's like Southern core, but like I love my monograms.
I love monograms.
I love my monograms. But yeah, that about sums up what I'm anticipating for this year.
Who's next? Me or Cordy?
I'll go. I am anticipating the 2024 Paris Olympics. I'm so excited. What the last time we had Olympics, it was like 2021 because they held it back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was in.
I remember sitting in my little in my living room with all my parents on, and we had our England jerseys because England had finally made it. I think they were at the semifinals. It's the one with 4 instead of 2. I don't know. Maybe I think they made it to semifinals. And it's like they had never made it that far in like so many years. Mm-hmm. And it's just like silence. And I was so excited. And then they missed because he wanted to do a trick goal and he embarrassed everyone and missed. I'm still not over that. And then Twitter blew up. But I'm so excited to bring that back. Because, okay, the World Cup, it doesn't hit as much as the Olympics does. No offense.
Yeah.
It just doesn't hit. And so
There's something about the Olympics. Like, I mean, I don't know. My uncle, someone in my family ran the torch for the Atlanta Olympics.
Whoa.
Oh, that's really cool.
And so my mom worked at the Olympics. She helped with something at the Atlanta Olympics. So the Olympics are a really big deal in my family, a really big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And so the hype that surrounds it is crazy. We sit and watch the Olympics for days. We don't leave our living room for days.
I love that.
I went. How old was I in 2012? I was 6. I was 6 in 2012, and my parents took me to because the Olympics were in London, and my dad took me there, and he's still a shelf in our house is dedicated to the 2012 Olympics with all the London stuff on it. The mascots and the stuff and everything. And I just remember, I vividly remember because my dad would drag us, little 6-year-old me, around the big city. And he's like, oh my gosh, they're running the torch. Oh my gosh, they're doing volleyball. And I don't know what's going on. I'm like, oh, sports, let's go. But it's been 12 years since that, and that's what's freaking me out right now, that it's been 12 years since the 2012 one.
Yeah, that's like, yeah.
But I'm so excited for the Olympics, guys. I'm so excited to have beef with other countries for, like, just because of sports reasons and not because of other reasons.
Political reasons, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just beefing with you because you're better at us. Sorry. Yeah, that's it for my little happy moment of the year.
Okay, I am anticipating an event. The biggest event of the year, I call it. The Met Gala.
Oh, yeah.
The Met Gala is my favorite day of the year. I love the Met Gala. It's my favorite. Like, it's literally the best thing to ever happen because you get to see how stupid these new stylists are.
Oh,
I love fashion. Fashion is like my thing. That's what I wanted to do for my future. Like, I wanted to be a fashion stylist until like 3 years ago, okay? This was my dream. So the Met Gala is everything to me. And this year the theme is Sleeping Beauty's, like, the revival of fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And the way the Met explained it was saying, like, oh, it's gonna, like, with nature nods and, like, with influence from nature and renewal and stuff like that. And I feel like people are going to take it so literally with Sleeping Beauty. I think they're going to take it very fantasy and very cartoon and very fairy tale, which was, like, okay. But the whole point of the Met, like, the whole point of the theme is the resurgence of fashion, because we have been seeing the same things for years. The same things and things and everything. Like, there's not been anything new. And this is the perfect opportunity to bring new silhouettes to the stage, bring new fabrics. And especially since they want, like, nature nods, like, let's bring more sustainable fashion to the couture scene. Let's bring all of these things to the high fashion world. And they're not going to do it. There's probably going to be 5 or 6 people that I think hit the theme right on the nail. Everybody else, it's going to be horrible. After camp, what year was camp? I don't even remember.
That year was a struggle.
I don't know. After camp, the Met Gala has gone significantly downhill. The only person that slays it is Blake Lively.
But she wasn't at last year's.
And she wasn't at last year's because she was pregnant. So
she better be back.
She better be back. Because I need somebody to actually do it. There's, like, been a few people that I think have hit the theme and done pretty good. But I don't know. And it's not really the celebrity fault. It's definitely the designers and the stylist faults. And, like, and nothing new is happening. Like, I looked at a few new collections that were released, like, for spring 2024. And they're like, oh, cherry red is in. Okay, we've said cherry red is in for months. Has anybody been? No. Like, we said cherry red was going to be in for the fall. Nobody's wearing it. We literally, and a lot of it has to do with social media and the influence of micro trends, which don't even get me started on micro trends.
Yeah.
Micro trends, they are an out for 2024. But I think a lot of that influences, like, there is nothing new in the fashion scene. And after looking at these spring 24 collections, everything is the same. Everything is the same thing we've been seeing for years and years and years. There's nothing new. And so, for the Met, there's going to be nothing new. Now, if I'm shocked and surprised and there is something new, guys, you can do whatever to tell me that I was wrong. But I truly believe deep in my core that nothing new is going to happen, and I'm going to be disappointed yet again.
You're real for that, though.
So, yeah, that's literally...
That's so funny. May, do you want to talk about Gypsy?
Oh, I would love to talk about Gypsy Rose. So, as y'all probably have heard, because it's everywhere, Gypsy Rose Blanchard has been released from prison. Yes! So she's been in prison for 10 years, and she's currently on parole for 2, I'm pretty sure. And she's in prison for being basically an accomplice in her mother's murder. So Gypsy's mom had Manchester by proxy syndrome, which is basically where you are a caretaker for a person and you manipulate them and make them believe, and you believe that they're sicker than they are so that they have to continue in your care. And Gypsy is a victim of this. And growing up, she was told that she had all of these different disorders, cancer, was told that she couldn't walk and was wheelchair bound, that she had stomach issues and had to be fed through a feeding tube. And her mom used this to get her different money and all this stuff, like with the Ronald McDonald House, stuff like that. And so as Gypsy grew up, she started to realize these things and started to question, like, hey, I know I don't need a feeding tube. I know I can walk. Like, why is this happening? And eventually she ran away from home, got caught, brought back. And at one point, like, her mom, like, you can watch the docuseries if you want more information, obviously. But her mom, like, abused her, like, chained her to a room and stuff and told her she couldn't leave. It was like this whole thing. And then she met this guy named Nick. I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm just gonna call him Nick. And they met on like this Christian dating site or something. And they began talking or whatever and dating. And he was like, I would do anything to protect you from your mother, like anything. And so he basically like convinced Gypsy that they needed to murder her. And so he killed her mom while she like hid in the bathroom, and then they ran away and they got caught. He's serving life in prison, and she only got 10 because of just her situation and everything. And also she committed second degree and he committed first. So it's just legality stuff. But she is now released from prison and she is married.
Yes.
I forgot her husband's name, but they're happily married. He like wrote her in prison. And yeah, so she's released and she's been pretty active on social media.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
let's just say active on social media. And she's doing pretty good. She's excited to be free and experience new things, which I'm very glad for her.
She's in New York City right now, guys. Yes.
But she was talking about with one of her, like at one of her interviews, how like her purpose now that she's released and like even her purpose her last few years in prison, like because when she was in prison she was getting her GED and all this stuff because she didn't get a formal education.
Yeah.
It took her a really long time, but she got her GED and she's like very educated and trying to learn new things about living and like what it means to be a person and stuff like that and like get her back. But she has started being an advocate for people who are victims of Manchester by proxy, victims of people whose parents or loved ones have really severe mental health issues, as well as like dealing with their own, which I think is really beautiful. And I think the way that the internet has taken her whole situation has kind of taken away from her whole idea of being an advocate. And I feel like, I don't know, I know she's like excited that she has a bunch of following because she wants to share her advocacy stuff, because she like talks about all the time that like she regrets killing her mom. She thinks that she was just a very sick woman and needed help.
Yeah.
And so she's like very much an advocate for mental health resources and stuff. But now that she has gained such a following on social media and like all the memes and stuff before she got released.
It is so good. It's so funny.
So funny. It's so funny. But like, I feel like that might take away from some of her advocacy. But
that's true.
I think it gives her a good platform to speak. I just hope people listen.
Yes.
That's all you can hope, is that people listen. Because she's been given a great platform now because of all the movies and all the docuseries and all the books. Like, she released like all that stuff coming out. Like, people are obsessed with her story and are very interested in it and have been for years. And so I'm just hoping that this following is going to give her a platform to advocate for mental health awareness and like help and stuff, because she's a great woman. She really is. And she wants a lot. And I think she's going to do it. I hope.
Miss Gypsy is camp. Like, she is camp. She's camp.
She also, I don't know if it's because she's been off of social media for so long, but she is bold.
Yes.
Very.
She is.
Actively talking about, you know what, stuff with her husband on.
In the comment section. Gypsy.
Like, I mean,
But
okay,
that is
I don't know.
Hilarious.
I mean, she hasn't been on the internet in a very long time. And yes, you have a little bit of access in prison. And obviously she had more access to the outside world due to her situation and her, like, being interviewed and stuff like that. But it's changed a lot in 10 years.
Yeah.
Changed. And, like, even when she was released, like, her outfit, like, was very outdated in trends. So, I don't know. I hope she's acclimating well. And,
Yes.
I don't know. I wish the very best for my queen, Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
No, I love her, and I think her being on social media is a good thing. You know, like, it's such a good thing for her. And I'm like, I love this. I love it. I love it. I love it.
My queen.
I just love seeing her, like, thrive, like, and find something fun that she likes to do. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's like she was for so long, like, stripped of herself,
right.
She even talked about in one interview that she was excited to go to prison because to her, even though it was restricted, it was freedom.
Yeah.
And now that she's out of prison, even if she's on parole, like, she's experiencing true freedom. And it's something she's never experienced before. And it's so fun watching her, like, experience these things.
It is.
So
Yay. And her being a Taylor Swift fan is, like,
the best
so
thing.
slay. I'm like, yes, queen.
I want her to get the red hat. I want her to
The red hat.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want her to go to the Eras tour. She needs to go. She needs to go. She needs to go. Wait, okay, guys. Side note. If Miss Gypsy was talking that bold in a comment section, how bold do you think they were talking over those letters that were sent back and forth? If I were a guard or whatever, because I think at prisons they have to, like, read the letters before.
Yeah,
No?
Maybe some places.
Yes, no, maybe?
I don't know.
Just to see if there's, like, nothing fishy in there, you know what I mean? I'm not sure the rules on that, but if I had stumbled upon whatever they're talking about in those letters, I think, I think I would be on the floor gagged.
I'd be clutching my pearls.
Yes, I'd be clutching my
Pearl.
Anyways. Gypsy's a slay.
She is a slay. Well, I'm gonna move away from Miss Gypsy, but I'm gonna go back to my earlier discussion about the Olympics. Y'all may know in 2016 that was the Brazil Olympics, and there was a very standout athlete in there. She's one of the most awarded gymnasts I think ever, and that's gonna be Simone Biles.
Yes, it is.
See, y'all know, like, I just say Simone Biles and you're like, oh yeah, Olympic athlete, gymnast, amazing, so many gold medals, speechless, the epitome of America, patriotism, oh yeah. Insert eagle sound. But in the news recently, I didn't know this, but Simone Biles is married, good for her, slay. But what's not good, how her husband is acting.
Cancel him.
They just recently got married too.
They did. So, Simone Biles' husband found out his name is Jonathan Owens. Am I going to remember that? No. So for the rest of the podcast, I'll be referring to him as Simone Biles' husband.
Period.
He recently, both of them were on a podcast called The Pivot. And they were discussing about his, specifically about his work in football, because now he is a Green Bay Packers safety. Did I know that? No. But now I'm learning. Anyways, but specifically, the co-host of the podcast asked him, how did you pull Simone Biles? And he responded that he didn't know who she was. So you're literally lying, because how? Yeah. She's only like the most decorated athlete in American history. How?
Right.
Anyways, so they met on the Raya dating app, which is like Tinder for celebrities. So obviously she's important. Like, bruh.
Yes. Right.
Obviously she's important. And he saw that she had like a bunch of Instagram followers. And then he responded, okay, she's gotta be good.
What?
I'm like clawing at the bars of my iron enclosure. Like, girl.
Simone. Girl, you could have done so much better, girl. Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Girl.
It's,
Girl, oh no.
And then they were like,
Simone.
okay, I'm going to read what the interview said, because he is talking about how he didn't know who she was. And he said, when she won the Olympics, I was in college and we didn't have NBC. We didn't have Olympic channels, and we were in training camp in late July, early August. So I'm not paying attention. I never would have had a moment where I would have watched her compete. So,
That is sus though. But see, the thing is, like, if you see she has a bunch of Instagram followers and you knew this was an app for celebrities, why didn't you Google her?
That's what I'm saying. But you should have known who she was, period. Like, it's not just on NBC.
Right.
It's on all social media platforms. You have a phone, sir.
You have Twitter, probably.
Exactly.
Like, you know who she is.
And another thing is, people were upset about this, obviously. So what did they do? What everyone does when they like to snoop, they go back to your Twitter posts, and they scroll deep. And what they discovered is that in 2012, he was posting about the Olympics, specifically gymnastics. So he is aware of like the Olympic gymnastics, and he has watched it before. But another thing is that like some of the comments he said were not very appropriate.
He's a stinker. Get out of that, Simone.
That's what I'm saying. Anyways.
It's hard seeing us lose a soldier to a man.
I'm like, girl, please see what we see.
Right. That is crazy. If I were Simone Biles' dad and I saw this man talking about my daughter like that, I'd
be upset. Like,
I would be upset.
He was like, and we're like repeatedly in the podcast, he was calling him the catch. And I was like, sir.
Okay,
that's so icky.
You believe truly that you're the catch. When you're talking about your loved one, you always say that they're the catch.
Yep.
Yes. Dude, you're not even a starter. You're not even a starter. You're a safety. Hello?
You're not even first string. Get out. He's crazy for that. Like, he's actually wild for going on a podcast so public and saying that. That is crazy.
And like the thing is that Simone Biles is in the room. She's in the corner, and the camera would repeatedly like cut to her and her reactions, and she's just smiling. And I'm like, girl, get out, please.
I'm like, Simone, stand up for yourself, babe.
Because that is like, literally wild.
That's crazy. It is crazy. I'm like, watching it was very painful.
The internet was in shambles, and she posted about it after. I'm trying to if my mouse would work.
Like, if I were Simone and I was seeing the things that was being said, I would be freaking out a little bit. You know what I mean? I'd be rethinking my life a little bit.
Yes, I'd be like, hold up. I think she responded, and she was like, "Can everyone stop now? We locked in."
Oh gosh.
And I was like, "Whoa, unlock it." Like, I'll get you a lockpick myself. Like, you can, please.
Right, you can easily do that, queen. It's okay. It's okay.
We're not gonna judge you. Like,
right, at all. If anything, we are judging your husband right now, so you're in the clear, girl.
And like, maybe she was like, oh, maybe it's kind of nice that he doesn't know who I am. I get whatever. Girl, if you don't know who Simone Biles is, you don't have any social media. You don't know what's happening at all.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You might as well just be uncultured. Come on.
Like, just because he knows you doesn't mean he can't respect you.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, but because he doesn't know her, he doesn't respect her and calls her the catch. Like, hello? Like, you can know her and know her worth. And he's like, neither.
Right.
I was just very agitated.
Just a man. That's what you do.
Oh my gosh,
what the heck? Sorry, I'm playing Temple Run.
Oh, she's not on Toca Boca anymore, guys. She's in the
my iPad wouldn't let me play Toca Boca. It kept just being on my screen.
That's crazy. Okay, and speaking of like trends, let's talk about the 10-year-olds that are running the makeup stores right now, and literally,
let's
like,
talk about because it's making me mad. Because
okay, yeah,
kid, I used to watch makeup artists all the time on YouTube. Like that was my thing. I loved to watch those in family vlogs. So I was very well aware of like makeup trends and stuff, and I would even ask for some of those things sometimes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like we grew up on the internet,
right?
But the way these children are acting, buying this expensive stuff, acting like if they don't have it, like I don't know. It's just like much more intense than when we were kids.
Yeah.
And it seriously is like a class thing as well as like a popularity thing now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My niece, she's in middle school and like I'm telling you has everything that us high schoolers have, acts the same, does the same things. Like, I mean,
that freaks me out, bro.
Yeah, it freaks me out too.
Crazy. And it's like, yes, when you're younger, you look up to the people that are older than you. I did it. All did it. But the way that the internet has put such a stress on young people to be the same and to do the same things just to feel accepted and loved is actually crazy.
Yeah. And like, I really do think a lot of it, like the conversation starts with the parents of these kids and like the culture and like the stuff that it all really comes back to TikTok too, because they're like, if the parent is allowing their kid to be on social media and stuff like that, and like the brands, like their marketing is clearly made for kids, even though the products might not be, because that's the biggest audience that will be influenced the easiest to like buy things.
Like, why are you making it so colorful, guys? You know they're gonna want it.
Right, like come on, it's just sad too, because like these kids, like they don't understand, and when you try to explain, like they just don't get it, and they think that like they will need these things like to be popular or to be liked, and I'm like, it's just a retinol skincare thing, like get over it, you know what I mean?
It's
like
gonna
it's
hurt
not
your skin, girly,
and it's gonna hurt your skin. Like I don't even use a retinol, like no, girl, it's like I don't really use a lot of skincare. I just do my moisturizer and my SPF, like
because that's all you need.
that's all you need.
Everyone needs to go through their Neutrogena, like the weird exfoliating.
Yes.
Like everyone needs to go through that phase.
You need to have the BB cream that smells like grapefruit. You just have to.
Yes, but it's like, if I asked my mom at 10 for a $90 makeup thing or skincare thing, I would be laughed at my face. Like I would be laughed at. Like my mom would not bat an eye at that. She would not even she would not buy me that. You know what I mean? Like she would laugh in my face. So that's why I'm like, these parents are being so like compliant with their kids, and I'm like, you should not be letting your kids run all over you like that.
And if your kid wants makeup, buy them like
Go to Claire's.
Go to Claire's. Go buy the little e.l.f. eyeshadow palettes that are like $4.
Yeah, so that they can play, bruh.
To play. Kids don't play anymore. When I was 10, I was asking for stuff for my American Girl doll.
Oh yeah, facts.
And like I've also like seen an epidemic thing where it's like there's no place for tweens anymore. It's all like,
where's that awkward phase, bruh?
Right, where's that awkward phase? Because like there's no more justice. There's no more what is it? Like those like tween type stores. Like there's nothing.
Having that tween store, like
right.
Kind of weird to say, but to have that in between, to have a place where you belong when you're in that in between spot is very, very important.
Yes,
because you should not be doing what 15, 16-year-olds are doing, because there is a drastic maturity difference. Development of people. It's science. It's how it works.
I just think it's like wild to me. And like that's the thing too, like when I was younger, like of course, you want to be and be perceived to be older. Like that's just something that happens when you're like, so you like, even if you have like older siblings or older cousins, like, you know what I mean? Like you always want to be at their level.
Yeah.
And like, of course, like you like I would used to get very excited like when my cousins would give us hand-me-down clothes, because I'd be like, oh my god, big girl clothes, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be cool because I have big girl clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
like when you size out of something, when you finally reach like 10 to 12, you're like, yippee!
Mm-hmm. Right. So it's like you always are like anticipating like being 16. I feel like that's something that everybody looks up to when you're younger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the
It's
big
like being
1-6.
Right, like the big 1-6. Like people like want that freedom, which is like I totally understand. That's in our nature. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, come on, guys, live in your youth. Live in your youth. Let it be fun.
Like, I was younger, always wanting to be older and to experience high school things.
Yeah.
And like I had this idea of what would happen, and now that I'm in high school, like none of that has happened.
Right.
Promise
You like
not.
romanticize it when you're younger, and it's just like,
and that's kind of the fun of it too.
right.
Like, young people don't even get to experience the romanticizing that idea because then they just get it.
Right, because those 5th graders, I know they're on their little phones in class doing TikToks, you know what I mean? And like, and when I like found out like that, I might have been like in the 7th grade, and I like, you know, like you kind of always know like the grades younger than you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I figured out that like some of these kids had like iPhone 5s. I was like, you're in 5th grade, have an iPhone 5? Like, what the freak? Like, I was like freaking out because I was like, I didn't even like my parents like let us have a flip phone for a while. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of wild. Like, I just think that's crazy.
Like
I didn't have until 6th grade, and the only reason I got it was because I had dance and I had to be able to text my parents.
Yeah.
See, I rode the bus, and that's why I got my dad's old iPhone 5 in 6th grade, and you couldn't use your phone at school. Like I use it on the bus to listen to music, and I used it. I didn't even have service. Like I could only connect to Wi-Fi, and so like I only used my downloaded Spotify music and stuff like that, and that's all I used it for. Like and I played bowling on my phone, but other than that,
Yeah.
But like, I have vowed that like I'm not going to give my kids iPads. Like, I will not. 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 And
I think the internet is such a different place than where it was when we were. And like that's not the kids' fault, obviously.
Right.
But it's the parents' job to like control that. Because when I was little, I had an iPad. Like me and my brother got iPads.
I mean, yeah,
right?
I totally had one too.
Yeah, but the way that the internet was structured then, and the way it happened on the internet is so different. Like obviously, I ran across some stuff I shouldn't have seen when I was.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like I was running across stuff that would, like, extremely damage my psyche. Like
right.
Running across stuff that they should never ever see.
Right.
Something no one should ever see, and it's very disturbing. And I don't know. The internet is a much different place than what it used to be, and we can't control that. But like, what we can do is like control what these little children are seeing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like there is my niece knows who Mr. Beast is, and she's like one of my nieces like. She's like 10. We were watching Trolls the other day, and an ad came on for Mr. Beast, and she goes, Mr. Beast, he made Feastables.
What?
I was like,
No. Like when I was like younger and had an iPad, I was on my 2016 YouTube watching all those girlies do the get ready with me for school, or like school essentials, and like they were doing like crafts and stuff. Like,
and I'd be watching my 7 Supergirls.
Yeah.
And I'd be watching Alicia Marie and
Yes.
Soda.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, those were the days.
Yes. And so that's why I'm saying like bring back 2016. Even 2016 YouTube was like in. Like, come on.
Yes.
Please
come on.
YouTube. I need it.
It eats. But like, yeah, I just feel bad for like the way these Gen Alpha kids are being raised by millennials. Like, it's just not.
Bro, I didn't get my first, like, I got a concealer when I turned 13 because I was in a musical. I was in Aladdin Jr. the musical.
Yes.
And my mom, right after we finished the cut, she was like, okay, I'll get you a concealer. And I got the Too Faced, the whatever, Born This Way concealer. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so fancy. Like, I have makeup now. But it's like, that was a big deal to me to get, because it was like a splurge. It was like a $20 concealer. It was a splurge. And it's like, hello? What happened to like asking for things for your birthday?
Right.
What happened to buying makeup at TJ Maxx? What happened to that, guys?
Come on now. That's what they need to be doing, taking their kid to TJ Maxx.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, TJ Maxx is cheap. And it's like play makeup. So I mean, it's real makeup, but like for little kids, like you could consider it play makeup.
Yeah, but you're like not bashing a $100 eyeshadow palette.
Right. Like I just think it's like crazy. Like I didn't start wearing mascara until I was like 15, and that was like a big deal too. Like I was like, oh my god, mascara. Like I was freaking out. So I was like, I'm so grown. Like I felt so grown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's just, the kids aren't getting that nowadays because it's just being handed to them. And I'm like, there's canon events you can't miss, and they're missing all of them. They're missing all of them. Like, I think that just Gen Alpha scare me. Like, I can't.
Ooh.
They're so rude too. I mean, not all of them are like that, but I just,
their like attention span is like the size of an inchworm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just ugh.
Like the social cues that like they just don't have that. There's no social cues. Like I'm just like, come on. Oh my gosh. It just concerns me. Cause I mean, I feel like I really shouldn't be worried about this because this is like, you know what I mean? Like I'm young, you know what I mean? But still.
But it's also these people potentially could be working for you in the future. Like
that
when
is
you're
so
older
true.
And they're like,
that's so true.
And it's
that's
like, please
so true.
know what you're doing, please.
Right. Like I just feel like a lot of them, even though they are 10, like they're just not at the social mark they should be at. You catch my drift? Like I just feel like they're not developmentally where they should be at their age.
When I was younger, everyone was like, oh, I want to be an astronaut. Oh, I want to be like a cook. And now they're just like, I want to be an influencer. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like that's going to be like the downfall of society is like all this like your social media is being your third place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Maybe Carson was right, guys. Crumble. Maybe the movie was right.
Maybe, yeah. Because like everything like nowadays is moving so fast. Like even like Mei saying like the micro trends, like it's going like everything moves at like a 10 times speed pace because like you're being like influenced all the time. Mm-hmm. It's just like crazy. It's crazy. So 2024, let's stop that, please, guys. Let's bring an end.
Let's bring an end to 10-year-olds at Sephora. I'm literally going to Sephora after I film this podcast, and I will update. I'll tell you guys. I'll tell you guys if I come across some 10-year-olds.
Do a 10-year-old count. Let us know.
The head count.
I'll say, okay, how many drunk elephant smoothies can I find?
Yes.
How much of everything is out of stock at Rare Beauty?
Because even like at Ulta, like I was at Ulta in Dothan like not too long ago, and I'm telling you, all the drunk elephant out of stock. I just went over there to go peek, and I was like, this is crazy. And now the Ulta has Sol de Janeiro.
Oh, it's a war zone, guys.
It's a war zone. I feel like I need to be throwing products through like to the other side of the store and like knock a kid out just so I can get to my stuff. Like, come on.
I need to go to Ulta too, but I'm scared. Like
I do love Ulta though.
I love Ulta. I need to go.
I need us to get a Sephora. Just because.
Yes. I don't have a Sephora here, huh?
It's surprising. We have a Lululemon, but we don't have a Sephora.
Oh, also, the amount of children I see in Lululemon drives me bonkers.
I'm like, girl, the small size is like an extra small. Get out.
Right, like you can't fit into that, babes.
Literally, they have Lululemon for kids, which is what is it called?
Oh, I know what you're talking about, Mimi.
I forgot what it's called. Like, go buy that.
Right, go buy or hand me down Lululemon. It's like cheap. Come on, I would like. I understand it's expensive to live now, but like, if you can save money by not using it on Lululemon, I totally would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially on a 10-year-old who's gonna grow out of it in a couple years.
That's my thing.
It's like they're still growing, so why give them expensive clothing? Like
like you go get your Old Navy jeans, your Rockstar Old Navy jeans.
Right.
They're crazy. I love my Rockstar jeans.
They eat, and they were it, and that's why I'm like, come on, guys, go take your kids to Old Navy.
They always got them sales.
Always.
Yeah.
But yeah, kids need to be canceled in 2020. Cancel kids. But yeah.
Is that going to be a wrap on our episode, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Okay.
wrap.
Well, thank you guys for listening to About All Things. What was the movie called? Leaving the World Behind.
Yes.
Dune Part 2. The 2024 Olympics. Bringing back 2014 culture.
Woo.
Maybe I forgot what you said for your prediction. Oh, yeah, the Met Gala. The Met Gala. Gypsy, Rose Blanchard, and now 10-year-olds and Simone Piles' husband. Thank you guys so much for listening. And remember that you can always stay in the know with In the Know.
In the know.